Alright guys, I tried doing a live, but it's just not going to work. So what I have here, I've had a lot of people ask me how I do my sugar syrup, and so I'm going to show you my setup that I have. I just rinsed this off. It's been sitting all winter in my garage, but I have a Harbor Freight Drummond. It's a half horsepower 20 volt. I zip tied the float up so it constantly runs when it gets below the float. And you can see there's quite a bit of a it's about at least probably a good 2 inches there that sits off the bottom. So unfortunately I do have to deal with that. Tighten that up. And then I have I believe this is it's 1 1/4 inch piping that comes up to one of these fittings. Can't remember what they're called, but that's the pump. I got a 55-gallon drum. Oh, hi Bane, you good boy. And I'm gonna try to keep this clean. There we go. Put got a nice big hole in here, and I put a towel over it to keep the bees out. Hi puppy. Alright, so see I have cut a nice hole here. It's big enough to allow me to pour sugar, and then so you see my other couplings here, and it goes on really easy, and then it comes up over, and then I will close off the pump valve or the spigot valve like so, and then I have it flowing down and then out, and then it kicks it or swirls it around down there, and then when I want to pump, come on, open up that, and then I will close that a little bit. The only thing about these valves is they stick really bad. It gets a little better when there's water in there, but it's probably just from sugar kind of crystallizing in there. It needs to be worked open a little bit. I did rinse it out pretty good with some nice water, but anyways, and then I just have this about a 6-foot hose or something. Have this coming down to this little piece here. It works really well. As you can see, I use the feeder buckets, and it fills us up pretty quick. You could probably fill up one of those in about 10 seconds. It's pretty quick. What I'll do is open up this, and then I'll turn this at least halfway, and it will come pouring out of there. So let me put you on pause, and then I'm going to connect that. All right, so I almost got it all the way, but I just want to let you know that or show you that I basically do this one hand. I just kind of line it up, and then it sits nice in there perfectly, and then I just twist this. Move it around a little bit so it make sure it's seated. Get a little bit more every time you move it. That's good. It doesn't have to be a perfect seal just because it leaks back down into the system. Alright, and there you have it. I made this loop here, and then I just loop it around. I got my power right there, which is why I have this here. To get the last bits out, all I do is I just take the pump out, and then tilt the drum over, and then it comes pouring out here. Works pretty nice. Let me get my tripod and I'll show you how it works. Alright, well, real quick, just want to show you my tripod. Thought that'd be fun. And then I have bought 25 bags of 50-pound bags of sugar. Got the other bit stored right there. There's 800 pounds of sugar right there, 16 bags. And then these. All right. If I can do that. So I'm filling up the bucket with a drum, and I'll get it for 1-to-1. Put about 25 gallons times 8 pounds, which would be 200 pounds of sugar syrup, which is 4 bags, and that will fill it up all the way. So 55 gallon, I pretty much fill it up halfway. And right now it's probably 1/3 the way full. And this is just cold tap water. But what I can do, I can rinse off that so I can plug it in. Get my pump moving. That valve. And you can see what it's like. I'll show you. Like any other one that you've seen, nothing too special about it, but it really gets that half power, or half horsepower really gets it turned up really well. I can't leave it because right there, by the time I get a bag over here, it will pretty much be full. Fill it, and we're halfway. I'm actually going to go a little bit more because I want to make it a little bit less than 1-to-1, right? Actually, I'll put you on pause. Be right back. All right, so we got our sugar syrup in, or our sugar syrup maker operational for the year. And what I do is I just sit them here. See if you can see it. Yeah. Turn it like so. Yeah. And then I just cut the bottom with a box knife. These are 50-pound bags. Like so. Time for that. Alright, so there's one, and then what I'm going to do, a lot of debris in there. Not a lot, just a little bit, but I don't want any. Turn that on. Up. I'm using National Sugar Marketing extra fine granulated sugar. I got this from a URM. It's a cash and carry kind of a. I call it kind of a. It's probably the company right there, Speckles. They sell the small restaurants. That was 100. This will be 150. As you can see, it's getting thicker. It's not as sloshy as it's rising. Somebody flight a kite. Do this. I'm not used to filming, so it never really gets easier. Okay, so that's 200 pounds of sugar to 25, roughly 30 gallons of water, which is pretty close to 2 to 1. Yeah, my math right. 25 times 8 is 200. So I think I'm going to add one more bag at least, maybe 2, just to. I got to use up bags. I got them sitting in my driveway. My shelf's full, so might as well make this a little bit thicker, and bees will appreciate it. Especially this time of year. It's March 1st. So tomorrow I plan on filling up each hive feeder. Every hive has a gallon frame feeder, other than my nukes. For some reason, I can only fit 3 frames in them with these. Just the way they are. It's kind of annoying. This is really cold water, tap, so it's gonna sit overnight. Any more than this, if I was doing 2 to 1, I would have used hot tap water and just brought buckets in. 25, or it's actually less. I think it's, what do I do? I think I only do about 15 gallons, 20 gallons, which is 4 buckets. not that hard to, yeah, you can see it starting to sit on the top now. So pretty much reached the peak of the cold water. It'll take time to absorb. It's fine. Good time. Problem with hot water is it shuts the pump off after a little while, so that's no good. It'll dissolve, so let it run for a while. Got the stick here I use to break up some clumps. That is coming off of there. It's supposed to be colder tomorrow, so the bees 49 or something. Bees won't be flying much. Well, we'll just let that sit for a while, and I'll come back and just edit the video into one, and it should basically be clear after a while. It'll take some time though. Alright, see you soon. Alright, just want to show you what I'm going to be putting sugar syrup in. I have these 5-gallon containers. I got 8 of them, so it holds 40 gallons. And then I have some left over for my colonies at home. So when I go out to my out yards, that's what I do. You can see all that brown stuff's just propolis and whatnot, but pretty cool. They were pretty cheap. It was like about, you know, $250. You get a bunch of them, so 8 of them. Well, I got 8, so a little stiff, but because it's sugar. Jiminy Christmas, that is stiff. But I rinsed them out really well, but always seems to be a little bit of leftover sugar. So, and then I got 400 frames from Galena Farms, from the Hoover Hive factory, if you will. And I'm going to do a little unboxing on this, just because I can. Let's see what's up here. Can't tell if they're 50. I think they're 50 frames a piece. Oh, jeez. It's a box inside of a box. Son of a monkey. It's sideways. Did not see that coming. Okay, well, that makes sense. It's probably the same as those ones there. I have 600 frames right here. There's 50 or 100 in each box there, and these are the foundation Premier foundations. They're really good. And then I have my extra Hoover Hive, or I got my Hoover Hive Super that my mom bought me for Christmas, because she asks what I want every year, and I just say give me something bee related. So she always wants specifics, so she gets the right thing, and that's what I want. And then, although I will tell you, after about a year or two, the wax finish, beeswax finish on it degrades, goes away, and it's, see this really light color. It turns this really light, kind of ugly color. But the point is they're wax dipped, and you know, it seems like the quality's kind of gone downhill a little bit, like the split. Not that big of a deal for Honey Super, but I had to put a screw there to kind of, or sorry, not a screw, but a staple. You can see the staple there. Put staples all along that top side there, because this whole side kind of cracked and I don't want it to come up. But they are wax dipped, like proper wax dipped, and then afterwards they dip them in the beeswax, give them this nice color. And this is a second super for the Flow Hive. It's got a stain in it, and then what I'll do is I'll replace the second normal deep box. These ones are a little bit wider, probably about a quarter inch, half inch, or narrower, I mean. The other boxes are wider, like these ones right here. I got 80 boxes sitting here. Just need to get them painted up and put out. And then I got about 50 pounds of wax there that I'm going to use to paint all my frames. Even if I know these say they're heavy wax dipped, right there, sprayed, coated, whatever, but that's still not enough. And I found if I put a really nice layer, the bees just draw it out perfectly. But I'm going to stain this with some stain and then get it exchange boxes. So, well, it's just a little update while we're waiting for that sugar. In fact, let's go grab that. Take a look at this. Oh yeah, it's looking real nice. It's probably ready to bottle up, but still a little grainy. Not too bad. Gonna let it keep going. Start to see that PVC pipe in there a little bit more. Alright, so you can see it's crystal clear all the way down to the bottom. You can see the pump all the way down there. It's hard to see in the reflection, but you can see. So that's what happens when you let it sit overnight. So you turn it on here. About 39. It was got to low 30s, mid 30s last night, but you can see it's all 100% mixed. Probably about 1.5 to 1.5 sugar to water. It's pretty thick stuff for syrup. But it would do this too with 2 to 1. It just takes a long time to, at least overnight. But, you know, it makes, I let it run for about an hour. Mixing and then just let it sit overnight. You can see like it's really clear. Anyways, I'm gonna fill up some of my buckets that I have so you can see them being filled. So I'm gonna go grab a couple. Be right back. Alright, so got my thermometer. Cooking thermometer. Let's see, it was 66 inside my house. Apparently. I'm gonna see what this tells me. This is March 2nd, the next day, by the way. It's about what time is it? 8:28 in the morning. 47 degrees. that pump down there is kind of heated up a little bit too, so I might just let this run for a little bit, see if I can get it to come up. 47.4. Let it sit there for a little bit. Set it there for now. And then these are my 5-gallon containers that I'm going to fill up. And so I had them sitting pretty much for the last few months. We rinsed them out good, and then opened up these so that they can air out and not get moldy, and looks like they did a pretty good job of staying clean. A little bit of mold maybe places, but that's fine. Oh, you know what I need to add? I need to add my rocket fuel. Thanks for reminding me. Well, that's good. Now we can do that. Well, that does its thing. Alright, hang on. Alright, so I have the Apis Biologics biocontrol for your sugar syrup. A little picture there. So I have the 1,000-liter one. And I believe it's 200 liters per 50 gallons, something like that. I wish they would make this by the gallon ratio. It's not hard to figure out though. So you add 102.5 milligrams. It says 2308, but that's new packaging right there. That wasn't on the old stuff. Per liter. Oh no, it does. 390 milligrams per US gallon of mixed sugar syrup following your established feeding. So you said premix weighted portion of biocontrol in a small amount of water with a common blender. Add biocontrol solution to sugar syrup, mix well. As we do not use chemical stabilizers or preservatives, mix fresh before each use. So don't store it. Keep package tightly sealed. Okay, so this says 390 milligrams or 1.170 grams per US gallon. And then from Hilco, where I bought it from, because they had a pretty good deal, this says mix 2 full grams with 5 gallons of sugar syrup. So 390, so 2 gallons would be what, 780, and 2.5 be half that, so about 1,000. So yeah, you want 2 grams, and I have 50 gallons, so I'll have to do 10 white scoops, which just looks like probably looks like half a tablespoon. Does it say? There's a marker on there. What does it say? 4 milliliters. Yeah, getting the light just fine. Well, I don't know. 4. So I do know these are a tablespoon's 30. That's half. So this is 50. Okay, let's see. 4 times 10 would be 40. And I need, so if I do 10 of the white ones, that'd be 40 milliliters, roughly. And then I need 10 of these for 50, so I need 40. don't have a 40, I don't think, which is fine. Doesn't have to be perfect, so I'll just pretty much fill up this 50 and maybe a little shy. Let's see if I can stand my phone up here. And max zoom out. Angle so you can see. So it won't fall. I'll show you what this looks like in here. I wish the container was not a baggie like this. I wish it was like a plastic container. This is the desiccant pack here. Almost looks like white cheese from macaroni, or like a light cheddar. Actually, you know what, let's do this. Let's just do it for fun. So let's just do 10 of these. See how full that gets. 2, 3, 4, 5. It's already getting pretty full. Kind of doing loose, I'm not really packing it. It's just nice, even. Yeah. What's that, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Man, that's pretty much full. And I'm packing this down a little bit. If I were to pack a little bit harder, it would definitely go down more, and I can push it down. So yeah, it's pretty accurate, I'd say. Put the desiccant pack back. Very fine powder, which is good because that means it's going to dissolve easy. Okay, see it's full. We're going to put that into a blender cup. I'm going to be using the Ninja blender again. It's a 750 ml blender bottle. Filling it up just below the max fill line, just because I want it to, if you don't fill it up all the way, then it tends to stick to the sides and then not blend well. Put that in, and then I need to put this stuff away as well, because if I don't, my dog will investigate it, and it'll be a waste of however much that was. Looks yummy. Over to the blender. Make sure that lid's on good. Hey, bud. Hey. And we're just gonna go on medium, probably. That's probably all. Oh, that's not good. She just leak out. This leaked on me. good at all. Anyways. Alright, back out here. And the sun is really bright right now. Mixing well. Let's do a temperature reading. See if it's coming up a wee bit. That did come up a wee bit. Settles in, fine tunes it, but it's a few degrees. It's pretty good just from that motor running. Anyways, I got my rocket fuel here. Alright, I'm going to set you down real quick because I don't want to spill this. Alright, again. Brighten up a wee bit. And lock. Pour it in here. See, it's pretty thick. Definitely not close to 2 to 1. Well, let that sit here for a minute. The thing about this mixer, it has a very, good mixing rate. Little air bubbles popping every once in a while. Fairly well mixed. Now I think I'm gonna get my tripod for this because I don't want to get syrup everywhere, so be right back. Alright, so got you on the tripod now, so hopefully you'll be able to see more. So normally, let's see. Yeah, let's bring this one closer. This is just water, by the way, now for flushing. So this is empty. And what I'll do is, hopefully you can see that. I'll turn that all the way on. Take that down to add more pressure to the outlet. And good, about halfway. Takes a few seconds. And once it gets about there, I'll lower that pressure there, and then I turn it off because we're full. And then I move on to the next one. This does a really good job of filling. 5 gallons fills 20 seconds or whatever it is. I think the pump does like 3,000 gallons an hour or something. It's a pretty good pump. Maybe I'm off. What I like to do is turn it like that, so that way I don't want to overfill, but I like to empty this hose out most of the way before I overflow, so it's transferred to the next one a little easier. So this is 20 gallons total between all these, and they pour great. I can go and just set it right on the box into the frame feeder. Only have to open a little bit of the box, and I don't have to open the whole thing to get to the frame feeder because it's on the outside. Check it off, the hose drained, the last bits of it, so it's just really stiff. So it's full temperature. That's full. Don't do that. Although you probably will. Inevitable at some point. Alright, so those are done. Go back and do the rest in a little bit. What I do is I take this, put that there. Make sure we're still recording, and that you can see. Alright. I got my hose just on the other side of the fence there to clean up messes. Now with these, it's kind of tricky finding the right spot because you want it to get snug about right there, because when you cinch it down, it won't be perfect. Kind of the only downside. Like this one. Usually if you start around this side here and get it on, these are open, so I need to close them. So let's spill our sugar everywhere. Forget, pick them up. Just syrup all over myself. That's it, just a little snug. And then when I go to pour, I'll just turn it like that. I put some plumber's tape in there so they don't leak. Just snug, kind of like your oil pan drain. You don't want it over tight. Then it'll be a pain in the butt. Make sure all these are snug. There you have it. 40 gallons. And sticky, but I'll bring you over to take a look at the tank, and you can see that the water level is down there a ways. It's right there, so it's just above halfway. 40 gallons, so it makes sense, right? Or 20 gallons, not 40, but just 20 gallons here. I'm gonna get the others, fill them up as well. These guys out of the way. These are my secondary ones that I'll have to change spigots to. So they just have, only have 4 spigots. Now when these are tightened on with thread, you cannot handle. Well, you probably could, but they're tight. They definitely seal it really well. Bought these off the Amazon. Make sure everything looks good. Still recording. Pressed at the top of the pump. So pretty much at this point, if I didn't have that that float zip tied, it would start to kind of lower. Hear it sloshing around way more now. Pump down there. So 40 gallons, about 10 gallons or so left, maybe a little bit more, which I can still pump It's not that low, but juicer. Fill jars with pretty easy. Getting this off the hand, but definitely need to take your wrench with you. Don't forget it. So at this point, I will lock it, close it down, and then how I do that is I'll take my rag. It's all dirty. It's been sitting out for like 2 years. It's fine. I just want to keep the bees and bugs out, preferably. And I create a little seal there. And I have my plastic piece that I cut to fit the shape of the hole, which kind of goes on the edge. And then I have this little piece of siding stuff that was around, and I put a brick on top. It's probably overkill, but with the wind around here, I don't want to risk it. So anyways, let me get the hose on, wash these up real quick. All right, got my hose. Rinse these down. All that extra sugar off, because I don't want that making my hands sticky later. Oh, it's got plenty of propolis, so by doing gloves on, you get propolis everywhere. I like to do is we'll open up the valve and then squirt some water in here to kind of clean this line out. Because I want to minimize the valves getting less sticky as possible in there. They're a pain in the neck. Pretty well rinsed off. I'm amazed how sticky that sugar syrup gets. You know, grab it and you'll find a spot that you miss. Good. Alright, well that was quite the long video there. It's going to be pretty long, but I don't really care. I know nobody likes to watch long videos, but I don't like to do multi-series because I never get back to them. So hopefully that helps. And if you want to make one, just do it. They're really nice. Probably the hardest part is finding the barrels, but I've seen them on Facebook all the time. I got this from my father-in-law. It was used with a detergent, like a food grade kind of detergent, so it was completely safe. I just rinsed it out, bleached it really well, and made it 2 years ago now, so haven't had any problems with it. Anyways, can't wait to get those supers on and get all these nuke boxes filled up. American Spee, have a great weekend.